Well, this video came out 4 hours ago, and I know a bunch of people have seen the meme, but we all know that a video was made about HaiX lying about cheats in Counter-Strike by NoHyper. We made a meme about this because NoHyper seems to think that internal cheats can't have a driver. Inuria proves that wrong. So do a bunch of other cheats. I wanted to watch this because somebody sent me a clip from this video, and I almost kind of want to side with NoHyper on some of the points here. This guy clearly made the video, obviously, to capitalize on the whole cheating issue within Counter-Strike 2, but we're going to go through it. I kind of want to hear a full explanation of how he's defending himself here. Let's go.
That's a huge lie. I'm a way better player than you. Do you have access to a cheat that bypasses the faced anti-cheat? This scene is very dark. HaiX lied to us all. Like, lied, bro. Long story short, I found this video. People were spamming me to watch this video. HaiX lied to us.
The whole lie thing kind of is already coming off. He said that he found the video, but people were spamming it to him.
Us all. You haven't watched this video, but before that, I also want to say a few things. People in the cheating community are the most delusional and the most toxic people I've ever met in my entire life. You cannot satisfy the cheaters. Every single time you make a cheater-related video, either it's me or some other YouTubers, there will be cheaters who are saying, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's why I contact people in the cheating community to provide me the information.
Clearly the wrong people, because half the people that these YouTubers contact really don't know too much. They're just your everyday cheaters that got put into some sort of position where they're able to talk to these people, but there's not a lot of good background. It kind of sucks, but that's kind of the truth in a lot of these. Take Sparkle's upload, for example. He spoke to a guy that claimed to know a lot about coding and all that, and it ended up being literally him pasting another cheat and getting exposed for it. Sparkle's lost a lot of credibility in that video because he went to the wrong person, or he got duped by the wrong person.
And their information I cannot check. When this video was released, I got contacted by 2 people in the cheating community who I know. One of them said about this NoHyper guy. Let me read it out. People are talking about you. This guy made a video. Please don't contact this guy ever. He has very bad reputation. He is not a smart individual, and he also capped a lot in the video. If you don't know anything about this guy, I'd be happy to provide you with his lore. I said, no, thank you. I appreciate the information, but I couldn't care less. I have no idea who he is. And then another guy, the creator of one of the most famous cheats who I get the majority of my information from, he said this schizo guy, schizo YouTuber who has no idea what he's talking about, made an exposing video about you. You can check it out. So 2 people already after watching this video in the cheating community said that this guy has a very bad reputation in cheating community. He also has a really bad understanding of what he's talking about according to them, but this guy, he probably thinks otherwise. Anyways, let's take a look at the video.
I just want to say, based off that, if I agree with NoHyper at all in some of the statements that he says here in this video, just know that I'm trying to be unbiased as possible. You got to remember, this is the same guy that just a year ago tried to have a bunch of people buy one of my softwares and refund scam it.
Fuck it. Let's
you better refund scam that. Refund scam that.
Yeah. That's one.
I hope he does try to refund it now, because there's actual video proof. I hope he does. That's insane. And it's even crazier that NoHyper is the one telling him to refund scam. That's your favorite YouTube creator for some of these people in here. That's insane. Also attempted to dox me through his friends. So if I agree with him at all during this video, just know that I'm trying pretty hard here to be non-biased.
Video, and let's see how he exposed me.
What's going on, guys? So about 9 months ago, HaiX posted this video called...
Can I also mention that making content on a video that was made 9 months ago when so much has changed is still pretty fucking crazy. I'm not really interested in wasting your time with some of the stuff here that's literal yap, so I'm just going to put in the key things on where both of these guys just kind of prove to the audience that they don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Let's get into it.
First, we're gonna start with a $0 cheat. In a free cheat, you don't get access to aimbot.
NEX.
The first cheat doesn't have aimbot. There are better free cheats out there with more features. This is just the one, I guess, that the cheater showed him. But
yeah,
with certain free cheats, you do get full aimbot. You can get skin changers. You can get stuff like that.
Okay, sure. Where's the lie? Why is he showing that if there is no lies?
NoHyper has a point here, but also, so at the time of the video, AimStar was a thing and it was safe at the time. He could have used AimStar, but didn't. And that's probably because it was easier for him to download a loader, log in, and just inject. But NoHyper has a point. He could have used something like AimStar and he would have had full features. And for HaiX to make it seem like free cheats in the video don't include aimbot is a misrepresentation. So, I mean, technically, both sides are, you know, they both make sense, but at the same time, you know.
This cheat is awful, but since there is no anti-cheat in Counter-Strike 2, no one has gotten banned for using this cheat on Valve official servers for over a month.
So maybe at the time that was true, and I
At the time, yes, at the time.
honestly don't know. What I do know is that
Today's video partner
Just skipped because I'm not promoting someone else's shit. Sorry.
is very useful
the other
information.
Valve anti-cheat, it's in the game. It's not very good, I'll give him that, but there definitely is an anti-cheat in the game.
Yeah, but back in the day, every single lobby above 17,000 Premier Racing, people were spin botting from round 0, from warm-up, and no one was getting banned. That was 9 months ago. Only recently, VAC started moving even like a little bit.
His argument is still wrong. There's always been an anti-cheat. If you want to cherry pick, there's always been an anti-cheat. No one said it was good or that it worked.
This was super easily detectable and bannable.
So back in CSGO, HVH really wasn't detectable at all. Even free cheats were
I
getting...
have not played HVH ever in my entire life, but in CSGO, the amount of times I went into competitive game mode and found a guy who is spinning was maybe like once a year.
by.
I'm not sure how he, once a year in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, he found a spinner, because spinners were super common to the point where for a while there towards the end of CSGO, you couldn't play a match or let's say fucking 2 out of 5 matches were HVH. That's probably just really good trust factor given the fact that this guy doesn't cheat, but HVH cheats were pretty unstoppable in Counter-Strike. As long as you knew what you were doing when it came to creating a config, you could go unbanned for a very long time.
Just fine. HVH features were getting by just fine. There were a few limitations based on red trust, but actual bans to accounts were very limited.
Every single time I ended up with a guy like spin botting and rage cheating in matchmaking, he was getting banned within like 20 minutes of playing the game.
Okay, so and he says this is in CSGO. I have a proper explanation for this. High trust factor account, and he's only getting a cheater every now and then. It's probably the case of he's getting in a game with someone that's cheating for the first time, and they don't know how to create a rage config, so they're getting banned by using detected features. That's the only thing I can think of. It's just a new cheater that decides to rage on an account they've played on for a while that doesn't have any trust issues, and boom, absolutely just screwed.
In CSGO.
Next, we have a $10 cheat. Outside of all functions of a previous one, this cheat is even
Midnight was never $10.
more secure because it's activated through a driver.
Midnight does not use a driver. If you'd like proof of that, here is a screenshot of me speaking to Midnight support, confirming that there is no driver within Midnight.
Just like any driver you have on your PC.
The next cheat he shows,
Okay, no.
dollar cheat, is one of the most popular legit cheats out there, right? For good reason. It has nice features and has a good detection history, but it's definitely not $10.
Okay, maybe it's not $10 now. I don't know. I didn't check the prices. The guy who showed it to me, he showed the pricing. I asked him to provide.
I didn't check the prices. The guy that showed me them. Wait.
I don't know. I didn't check the prices. The guy who showed it to me, he showed the pricing. I asked.
Which one is it? Do you know the pricing or not? If you're making a informative video that's supposed to have factual evidence behind it, you kind of got to know these things, dude, or it's just false representation.
Him to provide the price range of cheats. He said that this is a $10 cheat. I couldn't know. Okay.
Is not.
I couldn't know, but he just said the guy that showed me. What? Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
The guy who showed it to me, he showed the pricing. I asked
The guy that showed it to me showed me the pricing. Which one is it, dude?
him to provide the price range of cheats. He said that this is a $10 cheat. I couldn't know. Okay.
Is not activated through a driver.
It was not activated through a driver, but it was activated, how to say, kernel driver. That's what I meant.
No, it's not. Midnight is not on a kernel driver at all.
And maybe I didn't explain myself properly.
It is
like a loader. Yeah, exactly.
This is what we mean when we say, like he said, that cheaters get upset because it's just, we get upset not because of the cheats, but just because you don't know anything and you're making content on things you don't know about. A loader, of course, can load a driver, but the loader's main purpose is to be a gateway to authenticate who you say you are and download the product from the website through a secured connection that has security in it so that people don't just get instant access to the actual cheat without any kind of verification, so that you can't just use it without having an active sub check or, having a heartbeat detection system on your computer so that you can't stay injected past when your sub runs out, because a lot of people back in the day, they used to do that. Fun fact, they'd leave their computer on injected, just sitting in Counter-Strike Go or Counter-Strike Source at the time, even just letting it just consistently run so that their sub never ran out. You didn't know what you were talking about. I can understand No Hyper's frustration and why he might have thought making this video was a good idea. but I digress.
It's like a loader.
Internal cheat. So it is actively touching the game.
As you can
That is what I was talking about. That literally makes 0 sense on No Hyper's behalf.
Hey, kernel driver. That's what I meant. Maybe I didn't explain myself properly.
It is
like a loader. Yeah, exactly. My mod is saying it's like a loader.
Internal cheat. So it is actively touching the game.
As you can see,
So when No Hyper says it's an internal cheat, which means it's actively touching the game, what he means is it is constantly modifying data. It's constantly hooking, and it's doing all of its drawing with certain things within the game itself, and it's constantly modifying memory. You can still have a driver doing all of that. Midnight in particular doesn't have a driver, but to say that Midnight doesn't do that because it's internal is still a fallacy.
see by this function you create this FOV feature, and it has two modes, static and dynamic. The static one works worse because when there is more than one target in a circle,
maybe it was $10. I don't know. I have not checked. I asked the guy. He pretty known.
Never
in the
been
HV
$10
to make like a list of cheats for me. Maybe the cheat was not $10, but bro, sure, okay, yeah. I guess that's a huge lie. HaiX lied to us all, I guess.
can't aim precisely. But the dynamic one works by aiming at the closest target.
So static and dynamic FOV isn't based on targeting whatsoever.
You got that right.
Static just means that your FOV circle will stay the exact same size no matter how far you are or close you are to a target. And dynamic FOV just means that the FOV will change based on how close or far you are from the targeted player.
Isn't that exactly what I said?
No, what you said was that it changes so that it's easier to lock on to another target. Retargeting generally is its own setting, or retarget time. Dynamic, actually, No Hyper kind of explained this pretty well, and I'll give him that. All dynamic does is make aimbotting at further distances look a little bit more legit, because your FOV, when constant, is about this big, we'll say. If someone is really far away, your FOV is like this. Do you see how when I move my hands closer and smaller, I being the target would be bigger? That's how it's going to work. So this would be this with dynamic FOV. Constant would be a constant this, meaning your aimbot is going to look a lot more unlegit. That's the easiest way to explain it with a visual.
He's explaining how it's based, how it works like within script details, but I think I explained it pretty well, right?
Cheat. But what's interesting about this one, it has way less functions than the previous one, but this one is even more secure because it works on the core level of your system. Unlike any other cheats that would start the game for you first.
Yeah, loader, right?
I'm going to pause really quick because as far as I'm aware, yes, there's a driver involved with Inuria, but it's not running at ring 0. If you want to say core of your system, that would be ring 0. Most ring 0 cheats are going to ask you to reboot your system so that it can start before or at the same time as Windows starts so that it's loaded at the beginning. You can't do that halfway through as far as I'm aware. I'd like to think that I am correct on this, but if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, because again, I don't deal with that many ring 0 level cheats. Like it's Counter-Strike. You don't need to.
HaiX is correct about the pricing of this cheat. How many features it has. I've used it once and I really don't remember. But with that being said, it does not work on the core level of your system. You do need to use a different drive in order to run the cheat, and that is for security reasons, but it's still considered an internal cheat because it is actively touching the game.
Again, the core level it's running at, or whether it's external or internal, has nothing to do with the driver at all. So No Hyper is correct in his statement about Inuria just not being at the core level, but he is also confused and doesn't understand that an internal cheat can still run on a driver just like an external. It's just more common with externals.
Okay, well, even if he's right, I could not have known that because I was getting information.
You should have known that. Your information, you should have double checked. You never upload a video with one single source of your information. You always ask two, and if one is wrong, you ask continuously because there is a disruption. Going to one person and assuming they know everything is not how things get done in life. And this is one of the main reasons even I, watching this video, have issues with it. I could see why No Hyper wanted to make this video, like I said earlier, which is sucks to say, but there is some issues. It could have been a way better video if he had just actually both of them done their research. But yeah, like you don't upload a video and your defense is, well, I didn't know. There's no way I could have known. You uploaded the video. You controlled the timeline. You controlled the sources. You controlled everything. You could have double checked.
Directly from the guy who was explaining it to me. I mean, you probably saw the video, heard how he was explaining it. I haven't really caught any lies, you know?
I wouldn't say lies. I would just say that you were grotesquely unaware.
HaiX lied to us all, like lied, bro. This is a very strong term.
Cheat. It has tons of features, also including lots of rage and HVH stuff, such as rage bot, no spread, anti-aim, lots of wallhack options, auto strafing, rapid fire, and a cloud.
I was not making this video to explain how cheats work. I wanted to explain how f***ed up the situation is.
Well, then you don't make a breakdown with music and basically like monotone yelling in your mic about what features there are and what the cheats do and give it a little, you know, spazzy edit if you don't want to promote the cheat. That's kind of what you're doing. You could have sat there and monotonely went through each and individual feature that cheaters get and been like, this is what this does. This is what is going after you within the game. You have no chance. Valve needs to do something. But you sat there and you did a mini montage of all the stuff there is, making it look cool, making it look easy. Your video did the opposite, I think, of what you wanted to do.
Is not doing anything about it. That's the whole point of the video. Hate cheaters.
FrostChanger, which
You hate cheaters, but you were willing to spend money because you knew that the return on the video was going to make up for it. Like, to say you hate cheaters, but then just use them as content is also funny to me, but it is what it is.
allows you to see the skins of other people with the same software.
So the $30 cheat that he showed is 30 euros a month, so we got the price correct.
That actually explains why most of the HVH NPCs are using scouts and not ops.
Scouts do not do more damage.
They do not do more damage, they are faster. That's what I wanted to say.
I don't.
Okay, this entire argument is stupid. When this video was made 9 months ago, you could definitely use the op or the scout. The op was better, but the scout did allow just a little bit faster shooting, I believe. If you're going to have pen before the attacker, it doesn't matter. If the attacker's going to have more pen before you, if you're the defender, well, then there you go. It really doesn't matter what gun you're using. This is a stupid argument.
I don't know where you got that information from.
My guy, I'm pretty sure I'm a way better player than you in Counter-Strike. I know that one shot with a nope.
Also a stupid argument from HaiX. He's saying that he's a better Counter-Strike player, but we're talking about cheats, something he knows nothing really about, clearly. The scout, the op, it's going to be, like I said, penetration based. And generally, opping is going to do more damage, but the scout is going to get off shots a little bit faster. Like, they're arguing two different things here that just does not need to be in this video.
Maybe in terms of rapid fire, the main reason cheaters use scouts is because they're quicker. It's faster to peek in and peek out.
Okay, so he's just speaking something that I said, and he's speaking like the word, and he's like, oh, he said that, but he actually, you know, oh.
I agree with HaiX here, but I also don't at the same time. They're both yapping.
Stuff. The cheat itself has way less functions than all of the previous ones.
Security.
The final cheat that HaiX shows is
I don't care.
$12 a month, and it also does not bypass the FACEIT AC. It's also not private.
I did not know that. I asked the guy.
Your sources are dog shit. That's why you didn't know that. If security bypassing FACEIT AC is a joke and a half, yes, this one is a true kernel driver and does load up when Windows loads up. Security does do that. That doesn't mean that it can bypass FACEIT AC. Cheats running on the kernel level happened before even anti-cheats happened on the kernel level, when you want to go through the history of anti-cheats. But that doesn't mean that it can bypass any kernel anti-cheat. And he's saying he didn't know that. Why did you not do your research then? If you make a video stating something and claiming it to be true, why is there no fact check? Oh my God. Like, this is, and he wonders why cheaters are like, oh, your fucking videos, you don't know nothing. It's because you don't put in the work. You just take an easy video idea and you just spit it out of your fucking ass.
Best FACEIT and the shit. He said yes. Can I show it to the video? He said yes, sure, but you need to like blur and show me that you blurred everything. I said,
oh yes, you need to blur. You want to know what this guy did? He said, yeah, go pick up Security. It's a private cheat. By the way, you can just buy it on the Security Sellex. Just blur it because I don't want the people in your video knowing what cheat it is, but it's super obvious to tell what Security looks like if you are a cheater that's used it before.
So I don't know the name of the cheat, but he said that the private cheats usually cost $300 to $500.
Now, just going through and rendering out this video and looking at it, I had to go back because he made his own username and password here on the loader, meaning what? He definitely bought some of the cheats here. Now, of course, Security he might not have bought. He might have had images and videos sent to him for the video, but it's kind of weird that he would have to do that given he was making his own accounts on cheats like Nuria. So he definitely either knew or really should check his sources, because this looks like he bought all the cheats he's using in this video to record footage, meaning he knew Security was not private. If this guy paid $300 to $500 for Security, I want to know what reseller he went to, because Bro, that guy's having a heyday.
There are more expensive cheats, such as hardware cheats, for example, and their price, according to the rumors, can reach up to $10,000.
Okay.
If you're paying $10,000 for a DMA setup and like 9,500 of that isn't on like an overkill PC, you're being scammed. You could still get that. I mean, like 2 PCs, monitors, all that, you could still get that for less than like $3,000 if you're building a decent build and all that kind of stuff. Whoever told this guy DMA cheats are $10,000 is on actual crack.
DMA cheats are never going to cost $10,000 if you're...
Oh, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Bro! What the fuck? Oh my god, I can't. No, Hyper, I'm not a huge, I don't really like you, man, but this guy makes you look like a fucking genius. When it comes to DMA, I'd like to think of myself as someone on YouTube that knows a lot about this, given that I have one of the most in-depth videos on DMA and everything that comes along with it, and invested thousands of my own dollars into it. I'm going to tell you right now that DMA cheats will never cost $10,000, and No Hyper hit the nail on the head perfectly here. Phantom Overlay sells a DMA cheat that works on Faceit. As long as you have the correct Faceit AC bypass or whatever you want to call it, just like your firmware on your DMA, that'll only cost you $500, $600, $700, $800, depending. Still nowhere near $10,000. I know some Faceit firmware right now that's only $450, and that shit's been UD for over 3 months that I've been aware of. If you want to cheat on Faceit, it's not going to cost you anywhere near even $2,000. You can get a whole DMA setup, a micro PC, firmware, and everything you need to cheat on Faceit for less than, I want to say less than $1,500. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. Holy shit.
Buddy, don't you? I guess this guy is not familiar with the match fixing scene of the Counter-Strike.
What the fuck does match fixing have to do with DMA? Bribery. This has nothing to do with the original topic. This guy is actually smoking something.
So my friend got into the org, and the org wanted to get into RMR quals through the Asian qualifier to write a cheat specifically for the squals for these players. They had sound ESP, radar, and they were playing on LAN, and the DMA cheat was hosted on a different PC. And that cheat costed them 2 million rubles, which is approximately $20,000.
Okay, so now this is going back to this. What the fuck does this have to do with just cheats and VAC? This is now, we're talking about match fixing with DMA cheats hosted on other PCs at a LAN. Something that does not sound like it's even real, given the fact that if you're at a LAN and everyone's got a PC next to their PC, that doesn't really sound legit. It does sound like he's literally wiping his asshole and just letting his mouth fucking shit the toilet paper out. Because this just went from his one statement to, these guys made a DMA cheat for a LAN tournament and it cost them 2 million rubles. Well, maybe it did cost them that much because they're fucking idiots and they're cheating at a LAN. Something that had nothing to do with the original purpose of this video. It's actual yap.
So, in some specific scenarios, DMA cheats can be very, very expensive.
That's the equivalent of me saying that a used car is cheaper than a new car. This is yap.
Maybe a little bit more depending on where you get it. And a DMA sub for CS2 would probably be like $50 a month.
I've actually never even seen a CS2 sub be $50. I think one of the most known Faceit, like cheats that are used for Faceit with DMA is like $40, $45, something around there. I've never seen 50. 50 is really high. DMA cheats are generally cheaper than software cheats. And that's generally how that works, because the main investment and the main thing people know as cheat developers for DMA is that most customers are spending their money on the hardware to even buy their cheats. So the demand is much lower, meaning the price cannot be as high as someone just already ready to cheat with a single computer.
Fair value would probably be around $50 a month if you're spending 10 grand on a CS2 cheat.
Sure, a regular person probably shouldn't spend, but again, that's what the orgs in the match fixing scene are paying to get their cheats done.
If you guys have any questions for me as a cheater, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And HaiX, if you're watching this and you want some more information on cheating,
I don't. Thank you very much. Okay, so long story short,
honestly, was not a great response. And honestly, you both made the video for simple views. A simple breakdown would be HaiX doesn't do his research. He doesn't have multiple sources. He doesn't fact check his sources. And he does speak in a yap manner of just wanting to shoot content out without actually doing any real research. And I will also say No Hyper is beating on a video that's 9 months old. He had some correct statements, but he's also A cheater trying to school someone in cheating that doesn't know very much about his own career, job, platform, whatever you want to call his YouTube channel. They're both it's both just dog shit, and it's very entertaining to me. So that's why it's up. Fuck it. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about cheating, or you guys can provide me with proof of his friend that match fixed or knew someone that match fixed, I'd love to see it, because if someone actually went to a LAN with a DMA setup and got caught, they're the biggest idiots I've ever seen. My name's Tabz. See you on the next one. Later, bros. Peace.